Potato. Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oops, almost made a boo boo there, Lyle. I wasn't ready for that. Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas. Oh, you'll have to forgive me, everybody. I'm in a carbohydrate, practically a coma. I had a bunch of pasta for dinner, and I don't eat many carbs, and they're going to have a funny effect on me. So if I start acting funny, I'm not drinking, I swear. At least not yet.
Michelle is telling Buck Williams what I assume is going to be Christmas dinner. And if that's the case, Tom is going to do really well for leftovers.
He's going to be in a coma. Well, I'm going to read through that list, but let's thank Dave over at Double Hook Angling for becoming a member of the channel. Dave, thank you. We appreciate you. And he sent me a picture, Lyle, of him fishing an enclosed heated dock.
I know. I got one of those too. I
told him
I'd love to have that.
I told him to send that to you. I'm like, you got to send that to Lyle. Tell me that doesn't look like living right there. Holy Toledo.
There used to be one up at Lake of the Ozarks. My ex-brother-in-law and I went to it one time years ago. It cost us like $5 to get in it. Probably 25 years ago. And it's not there anymore. And I haven't found another one, because if I could find one that actually had crappie in it or around it, or where you could fish through the hole in it, I'd probably show up there a couple times a week.
Well, Dave did tell me that someone showed up with, your favorite weapon of choice, live scope, and saw that there was like 500 of them down there. But
that's what he said.
Nobody could get them to bite. See,
well, they don't always bite. They don't always bite, and live scope don't make them bite. And yes, I really don't have anything against it. I'm just tired of people talking about it.
Yeah, I get it. You're going to hear me talk a lot about it, because I got a box over here in the other room that says live scope right across from it. Happy Christmas to me.
Well, some of the people that talk about it, I 100% believe everything they say. Some of the people that talk about it, I 100% don't think they have any idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But I know that when you tell me, I know it to be true. And gosh dang it, I can't think of what's his name's name on Wednesday nights.
SK.
You know that when he says that it does this or does that, that's the way it is. He's not BSing us around. He knows what he's talking about. But it there for a while, it didn't matter what channel you turn it on. You would listen to some of his live scope this and live scope that. And I got to tell you, I ain't never going to buy nothing that don't have a Humminbird on it. Just ain't going to do it. If Garmin was the greatest thing since toilet paper, I'd never buy one, because Humminbirds are the best it's ever been in my mind. And I won't.
Well, that's all that counts. That's all that matters. Actually,
it's what you feel confident.
It's what you feel confident with. It's what you know. It's the operating system that you're used to.
Yeah. Definitely. And I'll never have another Lowrance.
Yeah,
we had give them away. I wouldn't have one.
I had Josh and Justin on my show. What was it, last week? And they're great, super knowledgeable guys. And they'll tell you the same thing. They're all comparable. It's all what you use, what you have, what you're used to, what you're confident in. That's going to do the best. The way I look at it, I'm not looking to cheat. I'm looking to gather more data, shorten up maybe my search times for crappie and bait. I don't think I'm going to be able to use it for catfish much. I doubt at all.
I don't see it working very good for catfish, but I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter if it's a Lowrance, a Humminbird, or a Garmin. If you have that live scope or whatever they call it from the other manufacturers, that is got to be a bait finding, getting tool. This has to be.
I believe we agreed to call it on my show forward facing sonar.
That's a great analogy.
So that's what
it is. Yeah. Now what I've got is 360 imaging,
and
it's amazing. I cannot imagine it being any better than that, unless it was the Mega, and I don't have the Mega yet, but I am working on that.
Right.
I keep selling fishing rods. I have enough money to buy it.
There you go. You'll be able to get a nice 16-inch on the back. I was watching my buddy Jonathan and Brandon on Jonathan over at Hook's latest video. And Brandon, I noticed he had a 16-inch Humminbird Solix on the back of his boat.
Oh, my God.
Lyle would like that.
I would, but we don't get to the rivers as much as we used to. But I always wanted to put one on Cindy's side, so she quit looking over there and saying, "You need to go here."
Now she'd want to. If you do that, she's just not going to look over. It's not like she's going to stop telling you what to do.
I promise you that.
Yeah.
But when we was back bottom bouncing, one on the back and one facing forward for both of us to because a lot of times when we was going down the river, she'd turn around and look backwards, especially at takeoffs in tournaments, to see if somebody's coming up on us to pass us. Because man, a lot of times we'd be running wide open and people just fly around you and they'd be really, really close. And she'd say they're real close on this side or real close on that side, or this one's coming up and man, they're coming too fast, stuff like that. And it gives me a great idea of what was happening, because when I had boats that run over 60 mile an hour and close and 70, that's important because there's guys that run 80 and could run 80, and for a long time I had the fastest boat out there, but it wasn't too long to them. They started catching up and passing and going faster and faster. And man, I got my foot out the side of the boat, kicking it, trying to get it to go fast. Just ain't happening, man.
My quote unquote dream boat, right? Now comes with an option of a 400 Verado on the back Lyle.
Dude, I can't buy fuel for them anymore. Freddie, thank you so much. We appreciate that. It means the world to us, and thank you guys for watching us.
Thanks, Freddie. Hey, let me read Michelle what she's cooking. I'm thinking that's for Christmas. So. Thanks again, Dave. Dave says that we're the only channel that he's a member of, so that speaks volumes. Let me read this. It looks like she's telling Buck Williams, how you doing, Buck, that she's making buffalo chicken wings, lasagna with meatballs and sausage, prime rib, green bean casserole, potato salad, apple pie, cheesecake, cherry cobbler, and tiramisu.
Man, what a meal. I got one more before we go to welcome everybody in. What do you got there? Oh, poor boys. I'm still cleaning up leftovers from Sunday when all the kids was down here. It was sure good. Creole says Miss Cindy was basically your tail gunner. Yeah, and she'd beat on me if I went too fast.
It's funny you mentioned it too fast. I saw a TikTok. Them Budweiser boats, the race boats with the jet engines on them? I was watching how them guys cut in front of each other to fill the jets with water to slow down the competition. Those guys are brutal.
They are.
Like, what a... I can't say that word. This is a family show, but I was like, oh my God, these guys are cutthroat. Thank you, Richard. Merry Christmas to you too, but
well, what do you say we welcome everybody in chat? We're up to 67 people watching already tonight. If you don't mind, please give us a thumbs up. If you like what we're doing, subscribe to our channel. And if you really like us, you'll join down at the bottom of the page.
Dan Thompson says, I would be a channel member if I could find a tab or something to click on. I can't find it anywhere. Are you on an Apple phone, Dan? If you are, you might have to go online. If not, you should just be able to click on a computer or something. You should be able to click on the super chat, and it should be an option there. If not, there's a workaround. Brian, if you're on there, if somebody knows what it is, just post that in the chat. We'd appreciate it.
I'm sure Brian knows. He knows everything.
Yeah, Brian, I think, did a video about it, to be honest with you. What do you say you let me say hello to everybody?
Let's do it.
All right. Adventures with Robin C. channel member. How you doing, Robin? Thank you for your support, dear. Big Slim 91 in the house. There's Catfish in Fresno. What's up, CVA? There's our buddy Creole Catfishing. We should head down there with this weather, Lyle, but I'm sure we'll talk about the weather here.
But it's going to be cold there, too.
Not that cold.
No, not that cold.
I saw Freddie complaining about it being 45. I was going to reach through the screen and, give him one of these slaps.
Before you get any further along, I would just like to tell everybody that it is -10 in Dockeryville, and he deserves every bit of it. He's the one that wanted this cold stuff.
Dale Hayslip in the house. What's up, Dale? There's Dan Thompson. Dan won my members reel giveaway. I believe he got it. I did some tracking today. Says that he received it. There's new member Dave over at Double Hook Angling. Thank you, Dave. There's Fishing with Big Mike. Freddie's Outdoor Adventures complaining about 45 degrees. How dare you? JNS Outdoors. Joe Buck 66. LG Bass is going to be eating good. There's our friends live in Minnesota outdoors. They caught a burbot. I think they got a video out there for that burbot. Cool fish. Cool fish. There's Kevin over at Palmetto Cats. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? Parker Pursuits. He was just messaging before the show, asking me if the ice was ready to fish. Not yet. Almost. We got people out on 3 inches. We can talk about that later. Real and Virtual Outdoors. Troy. He won a rod on Chad's show. Congratulations, Troy. There's Solo Tex Adventures. What's going on, Ricky? How you doing? I think he won something too in Chad's show. Busy getting ready for this one. There's our buddy Kenneth. Looks like Kenneth isn't napping. Welcome to being awake, Kenneth. What's up, bud? There's Matt over at Want to Be Outdoors. Whisker Dreams in the house. There's Whisker Pig Fishing. How you doing? Real Gals Fish, God's Truck. Bob Gaines in the house. Hopefully Bob got his gift card too. He was another winner on my giveaway show. Dan Thompson, David Smith. I think I got everybody and insulted the ones that deserved it, Lyle.
Well, J&S Outdoors is watching us, and if you guys haven't checked his videos out, you need to. He fishes with his little daughter a lot, and they fish down in Oklahoma, and they catch some great fish. Go check out his videos. I'm sure that you will like him. A very, very worthwhile channel to watch. And, of course, Dave with Dave Lehman is another great channel to watch, too.
Hi, D.
Whisker Pig Fishing.
I want to make sure I didn't forget D. How you doing, D? What's up, dear? All right. Let's see what else we got going on here.
I know somebody named D that got nominated for some awards. Probably not by Chad, but, you know.
You and I, though, we look out for her.
Yeah.
Chad just spends her money, that's all.
Danny Stone says, I'm going hunting next week. There may be some red squirrels in it. Sweet. Glad to hear that. Can't hide money, Mark.
I'm always in a good mood. Can't hide what you don't have. Jesus.
Oh, man. I've been watching a few videos.
What's going on here? Now they're saying I got it like the Federal Reserve, I think is what they mean by that.
Do you?
I wish. I'm not taking 20 vacations a year, Chad. I mean,
he does have a lot of time built up, and good for him, because the stress factor that, hey, Big Mike, the stress factor that he has in the job that he does, I'm pretty sure that it would wear you down after a while. There's my buddy Whisker Pig. Super Dave 336. Welcome, buddy. Kim Burnett's in here too. Merry
Kim, what's up? Kim's my guest on Monday's show.
That'll be a great show. What a super nice guy. And I've seen that he was trying to go fishing this morning, but I don't think he made it.
He was tying jigs. I saw him tying jigs. I dropped a thumbs up on his Facebook feed just to let him know I was there, and I did watch him. Saw him in passing. So
Marcus smiled like a donkey chewing on a cactus. Oh, that's got to be a Louisiana thing.
I swear to God, I have no eggnog in the house.
Merry Christmas, Freddie.
It's the carbohydrates. I've had too much. I'm not used to them.
Dave Smith, take down.
Here's the question.
I'm not ready for no ice fishing. I talked to James this morning, or messaged with him, and I said, I hope you're happy. You're the one that wanted all this cold weather. Now we're getting it. I'm stuck with it. I didn't want it at all. And he said it's really, with the wind blowing as much as it is, that it doesn't make the ice solid or something. He was trying to explain it to me.
Yeah, when you, especially when you got snow on the ice, it insulates it. And unless you have the base there, right now we're right at about 3 inches on the ponds from what everybody's been telling me. So it's just going to slow it down. It's not that it isn't going to get thicker; it's just going to get thicker a lot slower.
Yeah, he was saying it'd have soft spots in it and hard spots, and I said, don't matter. I ain't getting out there anyhow, so I don't care. It don't make any difference to me. Got on some nice bluegills, 9 and 10 inchers this past weekend. Gotta love how hard a gill fights. Hardest fish fighting fish, pound for pound, in my mind, that there is. Channel cat, and them run real close. But,
and you know, that's one of the reasons why I really do like ice fishing. I do a lot of pan fishing when I'm ice fishing, and fighting them on 2 pound test on a short noodle rod is a lot of fun. I'm not going to kid you.
it is. Yeah, and you take that same rod and take it to Mendota next year and tell me how much fun that is. I
don't know.
I had too much fun doing that, but I did have 6 pound test line.
Well, I won that Golden Whisker Award for catching that 17 pounder on a ice rod.
There you go. There's Ernie Brown downtown. Ernie Brown.
I have a little. Speaking of Ernie Brown, before we go further, Lyle, I hate to interrupt you, but it being Christmas time, we need to keep those that need thoughts thought of. So let's make sure that we remember Maurice Kaysen. He's back in the hospital until early next week. Brandon Cross, he just got out of surgery today. We need to make sure he has a quick recovery.
And we need to keep praying,
and we need to keep praying for Ernie and Chrissy, because they're having some hard stuff going on. I think that Chrissy's making it, over that hump right now, which is a good thing, but that don't mean we need to stop thinking about them.
And the COVID thing is going around again. My understanding, it's not quite as detrimental as it was before, but it still makes you ill. But the flu bug that's going around is pretty devastating, is what I understand.
I have it.
Southeast Oklahoma, which is pretty rare for us. Yes, it is. Southeast. You're down by Texoma, I think.
There you go. Super Dave has a good tip right there. If you want to become a member, go through the browser instead of the YouTube app to join. What I'll do is I'll get that link up, and I will send that link to Lyle. So when he sets up his show every week, it'll be in the description. So you guys will be able to get to there from there.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Josh, the Weekend Angler, says the flu that's going around is brutal. Christina just said that. I know you guys have had a go around. 3 of you had it, and then you ended up getting it later. Crappie Dave Fish On, thank you so much. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I've been sick ever since we got back from Vegas. As soon as we got off that plane, Sheila got sick, and I was soon after that. And it's the first time I've been sick in about 3 years, so it's kind of surprising.
Yeah, I can't.
Other than like breaking ribs and stuff, but we won't count that.
Danimal says 4-degree wind chill of -18 in Oklahoma City. That's in the northern central part of Oklahoma, if I remember correctly. And I should, because I've been there many times.
Whisker Dreams, absolutely. We'll make sure to keep your family and your son in our prayers as he's
yes, sir. Sure will. Robin says, my brother-in-law just got home from a 4.5-month hospitalization. It was touch and go for 3 months. Wow. Another person we need to keep in our thoughts and prayers. Man.
You see, why are they abusing me all of a sudden?
Brown bottle flu. Hell, you don't drink it much.
I don't drink any less, but I don't get brown bottle flu. That's for kids.
Non-professionals.
I stay home on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, 8 degrees here with a wind chill of -12. You can have it, Danny, because that ain't making a pimple on the butt over here. We got a lot worse than that.
I got to do weather check. We got a -5 here with an expected low of -9.
We have -5 at present time here in Buffalo, Missouri. And with 40-mile-an-hour winds, that's what the gusts are up to. It makes it -35. So, yeah. Other than me opening the door and letting the dog out here pretty soon, I ain't getting out till at least tomorrow afternoon. Maybe
them 2 little knuckleheads of mine, they don't care how cold it is. They're out there rolling around in the snow like the knuckleheads they are.
I couldn't find Gidget a while ago. She ran around beside the house, and I hollered at her and cussed her a little bit. She come running around side of that house, and this much of her face had been in the snow. It was all white, and the rest of it was chocolate. There's something that I say every year, Creole. Every year I say that. I really do. Hey, Chadwick has made it in.
Glad you could join us.
Glad to have you in here, buddy. Keep all the animals outside and the homeless people in your thoughts. That's a fact.
You ain't kidding. Speaking of which, I was just telling Lyle before the show started, I went out and I picked up a ham for our family, right, for Christmas dinner. So I get home, I'm like, all right, I got a day early jump on everything, right? Sheila walks in the door with a second ham. So I got 14 pounds of ham in my refrigerator. So I think I'm going to drop one of them off at the homeless shelter and try to feed
That's another great idea. It's different from what we talked about, but it's still a great idea. Yeah, them animals, Dave, they love to play in the snow. But when they stay inside all the time, it gets to the point where, they go out and they do their business. Screw it. Open that door. I'm coming in. Most of them, and labs it usually doesn't matter for them. My old dog that I used to duck hunt with all the time, he'd laugh at you if you tried to get him to come in. He wasn't coming in.
Some dogs are better at it than others. I mean, I've
had pictures of him with ice hanging off the sides of him at every spot, and he wouldn't come in the duck blind. He would stay out there because he knew that I might doze off, and if I heard I knew there was a flight of birds coming in. I knew it was, and he knew they was coming in too. I mean, he was a pretty hot dog, and he woke me up a number of times for that.
Them bird dogs are something else. They're such an impressive breed.
Yeah. There's nothing better than one trained to do what he's supposed to do. I don't care whether it's a cattle dog or a duck dog or a rabbit dog. If he's well trained to do what he's supposed to do, they are a pleasure to watch.
And they're tough. They are tough. Impressive too.
Yep.
I mean, they're covered in burrs and water and ice, and all they want to do is their job. That's it.
Uptown Chrissy Brown. It's all right, Chrissy. Just as long as we know you're good to go, we're good to go. And fried ham and potatoes. That sounds pretty good.
First annual Panfish Nation ham giveaway. Hey, next year.
Not that either, but that's pretty good too.
Next year we might have to do that. Let's see, what did Parker say? I'm sorry for stepping all over that. It says country fried ham and potatoes for supper. That sounds good.
You betcha. My lab would wake me up when the ducks were coming in. Absolutely. Gilby Guerrero, I hope I didn't butcher that. I think you're a new person on watching us in the show and in chat. Thank you so much for being a part of Panfish Nation.
I would be, if that was the case with my dogs, I would be in so much trouble, Lyle, because there's no hunting in my suburb here where I live.
Really?
But I'm right by a marsh, and there's hundreds of thousands of geese that land there and take off.
They'll be leaving pretty quick. This cold weather coming in.
Yeah, they're pretty much done, but it's incredible how many fly overhead. I can imagine if I had a dog that liked them, how crazy that would be.
Oh, I've had a lot of good duck dogs over the years, and I'm telling you, when they're trained correctly, you can just tell them to sit, and they won't go until you release them. But them ones that are just wound up and they're not fully trained, they see a flock of geese or ducks like that, they'll land about halfway out to them in the water, and they'll run every one of them off of a pond. We found hams on sale at Walmart, 10-pounders for $8 to $10. Wow.
Nice.
I had to force myself to only get 2. Yeah. The only reason I wouldn't is because I don't have any more room in my freezers.
Yeah, my freezer's pretty backed up too.
Both of mine are full. I actually have another that's not plugged in that I could if I want to.
Freddie, we can talk about that offline. But
yeah, Danny Stone said he had squirrel for supper. He tried to pop my truck tire with his head. Oh. Oh man,
I gotta highlight that one.
they're good eating.
Looks like Parker says our Malamute and Ozzy just let the snow cover them and sleep.
Yeah, a lot of them it doesn't bother. Oh, when I had dogs and kept them outside, I had dog boxes and I'd fill them up with straw. And you can be surprised how warm they stay in a dog kennel or a house with straw. If you fill it up where they can't even see in it, they'll get in it. When they lay in that straw just insulate them. They stay warm as they can be.
I might have a pellet gun there, Parker.
I know I got one.
I know you do.
And I did lighten up the squirrel situation around here last year. I promise you.
What's going on, Buck Williams? Says, I have a great hand pick. Couldn't show it on here, though.
I can only imagine.
All right.
You know what? Not talking too much about fish.
No, we're not.
A lot about Christmas dinners and stuff like that, which right now,
dogs.
Yeah.
And
Ain't nobody. I don't see anybody going out catching bluegill and crappie tomorrow around my neck of the woods.
If I could get out on that ice, I might, but that's not going to happen for another week.
I'm thinking the wind's going to be too strong.
Yeah. But if you're in one of them shanties, you don't even know. You don't even feel the wind, so it isn't too bad. It's getting all set up. That's the hard part. And I've chased an ice fishing shanty across a lake. It's not fun.
I'll bet that's right.
It's not fun at all. I'm sure living in Minnesota can relate with that.
I bet so too. And there's another great channel. If you guys haven't went over and checked them out, they got some great looking videos. They go live once in a while. You need to check them out. Great thing if you want to watch pan fishing, crappie, bluegill, walleye. They get it all, and very entertaining channel to watch. Gilbert said better entertainment than what's on TV. I'm pretty sure. I hope that's the case. Brian B for the win. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate you. Merry Christmas.
Tackle box mites, bone chilling cold. I'll tell you how cold it is, Mark. You want to know?
Say it, Lyle. Merry Christmas.
Cold. How cold it is.
We went, what, how many? 98 shows with me stopping him from saying that. I figure I'd let him say it tonight, folks. My apologies ahead of time, but consider it my gift to you, Lyle.
That's right, Whisker Dreams. And a John boat is correct. Doc Lang and I used to talk about that on Catfish Weekly, and guys that get on us about going ice fishing. And we both said, if you can get that boat to go out on the ice and then drill us some holes around the sides of it, we're good to go. Other than that, we're staying on the bank.
Gillespie just did an episode last Saturday. He let it out. He was up north on the Mississippi in an airboat, Lyle. An airboat.
Yeah, that'll work.
And they went out there and they were nailing 14 and 16-inch perch, if I remember correctly.
Now, do they have a full enclosure for that airboat?
They didn't, but I'm anything's possible. I don't remember it being in the episode, but
I'm thinking I'd have to have that and a heater.
Just go in a warmer day. That's all.
Still going to need a enclosure and heater.
How about a heater in a bottle? You know what I'm talking about.
I do, and that'll work. Creel says they're so much fun. I would love to get on one, but I understand that they're really, really loud. I've never been on one, but yeah, I'm down for trying one.
See, Live in Minnesota Outdoor says, I was in a pickup truck. Now,
nope.
Yeah, if I could get a truck out, if I could get a truck out onto the water here, I'd be unstoppable. I'd be an ice fishing machine, but we don't get enough ice for it down where I live. So
put a deer blind on the airboat.
That'll work.
You go. That'll work.
Jody says she won't go fishing without my heater.
I don't blame her. I'm kind of full-figured guy. And when all of me gets cold, I'm cold for a long time.
I just got to keep my hands warm and I'm all right. So
I usually wear insulated coverall bibs and hoodies and stuff, and they got pockets, and I just keep my hands in there. I don't ever use heaters, hand warmers, but if I can keep them in there where it's out of the wind, I'm usually pretty good. The biggest problem I ever had was deer hunting when it get cold, because I was out for hours and hours, and when you field dress one after your hands are almost unbelievably cold, they get warm as they've been all day, and then when you're done, they're freezing worse than they ever have.
James Docker has a comment. He says, or you could be a real man and walk your happy ass out on the ice and fish.
Never gonna happen. I did mention you in Dockeryville a while ago, James, and it being -10. You're the one that wanted this stuff, so I hope you enjoy it. And I hope Katie gets mad and won't let you go out fishing for a month.
Live in Minnesota's giving me an invitation to come out there. I may have to take him up on that.
Heck yeah.
We'll see what the ice looks like in a week here.
Yeah, I bet they got plenty of it.
Oh, yeah, they've been out with on trucks already. So
yeah, I've seen several of them that have been. Yeah, I ain't going to take no truck. I know Luke and them guys done that, and I ain't doing it with him either. And I like Luke pretty well, but I'm not getting on no truck and driving across no ice. That ain't going to happen. That's right, Dave.
I need to get me a chicken sound effect for these shows.
Oh, yeah.
For when Dieter comes on in the chat, when you talk about ice fishing.
Dieter. Oh, my gosh. While I'm thinking about it.
Kim's got it cold. You can say it again, Lyle.
Look at scraping cold, -21. Well, his windshield factor's got to be -40 or more. Has to be.
Wait. I hope this is a typo, Parker. I hope that it's a.
He means gut pile.
Josh, are you seeing this? The Weekend Angler. If you're not screenshotting this from Parker, you missed that, buddy.
Thank you, Stan. Thank you so much. I had something I was going to say. I got to laugh and forgot about it. Dang, that's too bad.
Thank you, Stan, with the $2.22 super chat. Merry Christmas. Truck on the ice for the win.
No, I'm not going to get out there on that ice like that, buddy. I've threatened to go up and fish with Dockery on the dock where I don't have to actually walk on the ice. But I'm not getting out on the ice to drill the hole either. He's going to have to do that. I ain't doing it. If he falls through, I'll stick a hook under the ice and try to snag him in the nose and drag him back up through there.
Josh says, screenshot it for posterity.
Keith Du Bois, Outdoors, welcome.
What's going on, Keith? How you doing, bud?
Dang, I wish I could remember what I was going to say. Oh, I do know what I was going to say. Doesn't have anything to do with panfish. But if you haven't went over and made your selections for the Golden Whisker Awards, you need to do that. It is a very important thing. Kevin worked really hard for the last few years getting that together. And if you do any catfishing at all, go make your selections and put them in, especially if you have a YouTube channel, because I know you're watching some of them shows on there. It just takes a little while. It's harder to remember everything you've seen all year than anything else, but it's a highly successful thing to do, and I think that you should all do that.
I started mine, and I'm having a hard time going through all the good content out there, picking just one to nominate. And we'll get it done, though. We're going to get it done. And
I'm guessing I've been 3 weeks completing it because I had to go back through videos and watch this and watch that, and I was shocked at some of the people that I chose because normally I wouldn't have remembered them, but I couldn't think of anybody else that done the things that they did. So there you go. Creel says the more info the committee has, the better. I agree. Tackle Box Mike says, anyone checked ice thickness? I have not.
I have. I talked to a couple guys at 3 inches on the ponds here. I'm 30 minutes shy of the Wisconsin border, so I'm in McHenry County. I don't know if that helps you anything, Tackle Box Mike, but
I'm thinking in the morning it's probably going to gain some inches.
I know up north of me, up Madison and North, they got side by side and ATV and snowmobile worthy ice up there.
Wow,
which isn't far from me. It's an hour and a half away.
An hour and a half doesn't seem like that much, but it must make a heck of a lot of difference. I don't understand this. Not sure I want to. Parker, I'd fall asleep and you'd fall in love. I don't know what that's all about, but I do know something that's coming up, and it's called the Baldwin Bash. Again, actually, you could count that as panfish worthy because they have they have really small channel cats up there, and
blue cats, I thought.
Of them. What's that?
Are there blue cats, right? The small blue cats.
Yeah, both. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think channels and blues. I know flatheads that I'm aware of, but it's going to be a lot of fun. A bunch of people are going to be there. Hopefully, it won't be quite this cold, but it is a generating lake, and the water's warm, and the fish bite year round. You will love it.
And for those of you that have been asking me a message, Powerton opens Christmas Day. So you guys can go out there and mess with the wind and the really big blue cats over there. I know that Parker and Richard over at Fish and Freedom showed a little interest in going that way. I may join them yet. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the bite's like over there. But there's some big blue cats to be caught from the shore there in the winter.
Damn River Boys, welcome to chat. Matt, want to be outdoors? Welcome, buddy.
What's up, DRB?
I'm not sure that. Yeah. Anyone use wood stove for heat? I got a fireplace, but I can't get anybody to bring me any wood.
I'm pretty sure that Ernie Brown does, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think they do a lot of heating with it. Our fireplace actually has twin blowers on it, and it will heat our entire house. But you can't hardly sit in that living room.
Don't be saying that too loud. If Mrs. CNC hears that, and when we built this house, I told her we don't need a fireplace, and that was 27 years ago, and I haven't lived it down yet.
Damn, I need Sheila's phone number.
Get me in trouble.
No,
not you guys.
Danimals Creations, welcome, buddy. But yeah, I'm not an ice fisherman. I do watch a lot of ice fishing videos, and I enjoy watching them. Fishing and Freedom got 2 wood stoves rolling right now. I bet it's toasty in that house. But it's time, and this is going to help a lot of people. It's not going to help some, and the information that you and Dockery have shared with me today about the way the ice is forming and the wind blowing and all that, it makes a little sense, but I don't really comprehend a lot of it because I don't fish ice. But there should be some great content coming out on videos if you like to watch ice fishing videos in the next couple of weeks. It should be awesome.
I hope to get it when I finally get out on the ice. I hope to do some lives, if not some videos and stuff. It all depends on where I'm fishing and what I'm fishing for. So it's fun to get out there as long as the day isn't too brutally cold and I don't have 200 pounds of gear to haul out onto the chain, which is like a 1.5 mile walk.
Yeah, see, I can't do any of that.
Yeah, it makes for a long day, but it's fun. Hopefully we'll get out with my friend Violet and her gang over on a couple of these little lakes over here, and those are the things I'm kind of looking forward to doing.
If I was going out on the ice, which I'm not, but if I was, I would be looking for jumbo bluegill, yellow perch, and big crappies. And once I had all that I could stand, then I'd be finding me a place where I could go catch big channel cat. And Mendota comes to mind right off the bat.
Dale, that's exactly where he fishes, is Powerton.
He goes there a lot.
Jonathan's local boy here. They go out there quite a bit.
Yep. It's not too far for him, is it?
Well, it's same for me. It's 3.5, 4 hours, depending on the weather.
That's a pretty good drive. But if you're catching fish, who cares?
But that's the thing. It's feast or famine there. You could go there and catch absolutely nothing. You can go there and have a crazy awesome day, but
I've seen some videos come from Powderton. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen some where they just caught 1 or 2 dinks. But hey, the problem that I've
never seen a dink come out of there.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of. They haven't been recently though.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I've seen that I would not like about that is to get where the fish is. You're looking at a mile walk.
It's a mile and a half.
Yeah, see, I ain't doing that at all. I don't care how good the fish are, and there's some dandies in there. There really is.
There's a lot of good stripers in there too, some hybrids.
That's what I understand. Yep. And at the right time and the right spot, I think there's a lot of shad in that lake.
See, says, come to Baldwin, Lyle. We will put you in a wagon and haul you.
Yeah, I would like to come down there and bring my boat. But
how long is the walk to fish at Baldwin?
I don't know. I didn't fish it from the bank. That'd be a Josh or a Parker question.
There's Cody Robinson. It says, thing about Powderton is you got to know how to fish it. Balloons are your friend at Powderton.
Rod Knocker's Fishing says, Matt ate half a deer and half my catfish stock. He was hungry. Yeah, I'm sure it can be frustrating. But yeah, Baldwin is a fun place to fish. I really had a good time with Josh over there, and I would love to go back over there, but it's going to have to be warmer than it is today. I don't care how warm the water is. I'm not doing that. But man, that thing, you talk about a place loaded with eaten-sized fish, and they actually want you to keep them out of there because it's so overpopulated. So if you need table fare, and they're on over there, and they bite most year round, that's a great place to go. Josh and I had a blast. I mean, that was a fun day for me. And Josh says, walk at Baldwin is about a mile, but it's level gravel road. There you go.
Baldwin Walk is a few yards unless you follow Jerry Parker. Then it's 10 miles.
Let's take the long way around the lake.
Maybe Jerry just walks to where the fish are.
Maybe Jerry just walks to see if he can wear Danny Stone's little legs down. Weather's going to be warmer by New Year's, so walk will be shorter at Baldwin. All right. Oh, Dave said they're eating homemade deer jerky. Nice.
I heard Chad's going to be out there with them.
I think so.
Chris was talking about going out there. I don't know if he's going to make it out there or not.
Chris and Jelly?
Yep. I'm not sure, though. He had mentioned they were supposed to go or not. I don't recall.
Well, that's a little bit of a drive for all them guys, but
it's
have a blast, man. It's going to be fun.
It's 7.5 hours for me. I checked it out. And I think it's the same. Yeah, Baldwin. It's the same for Chad, too, I believe.
Yeah, but he's a little younger.
Little, not much. 46.
Oh, man. I don't know, but Cindy actually talked about going over there, but it's going to have to really, really warm up before I'm going to go over there, do any of that crap. Dave had deer chili for supper. Wow.
I've been craving chili too.
Danny Stone Outdoors, 2 hours and 15-minute drive to Baldwin for DSO and Freedom. That ain't too bad. 2 hours and 15 minutes. If you hit the traffic right.
I told you, you know that Mendota's less than 2 hours for me, Lyle.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I think when I drove over there and met Josh, I think it was like 5 hours for me or 4.5, something like that. I don't remember now exactly.
That's it, Mark. Just FYI, Baldwin is 5.5 hours for you, about the same as Chad. So what's your excuse?
There you go.
I don't want to say this, at least not publicly. We'll talk after the show.
Oh, well, 50-pounder caught at the boat ramp last weekend at Baldwin. I didn't know they had anything in there that big. I really didn't. I sure didn't get no hits like that. But I got a lot of them. It was busy down there. I'm telling you, if it was, say, a 60-degree day, I'd put a heater in the boat, haul it down there, launch her off, and we'd just fish out of the boat, put much of the enclosure on it as I've still got that works. Illinois State Record Channel Cat came from Baldwin. That's some good information right there.
What is that state record, Josh?
I'm sure he knows. Or we'll find out. Matt says 4 hours to Baldwin from his location. Wow, as of right now, the Baldwin Bash is supposed to be 60 degrees.
Wow, that'd be a good day. It'll be windy, though, for sure.
Oh, I'll bet, yeah.
Bring the big lead. Bring the big lead.
Wow. An 80 out of Baldwin a couple years ago. Man, I've never heard of any of that stuff. 45.4 pounds. 45 pounds, 4 ounces. That's a big channel cat.
That's a monster.
Yeah. See, they back in the 50s, they claimed that the Missouri State Record channel cat is 55 pounds or something like that. But they ended up taking the picture of it down because it was not a channel cat, it was a blue.
It was a blue.
They didn't know the difference or whatever, and they let them have the record. But you could tell by looking at the picture it was a blue and not a channel cat. And people started complaining about it. And the Missouri Department of Conservation just took the image down so nobody could see it. And
you mean a government organization would cover something up, Lyle?
come on, man. You know they did. That's right. They don't want to listen to it, so they just fix the problem.
We got guys here on the Fox that'll catch like a really light colored channel cat and it's a blue cat. Oh, it's a blue cat. It's a Fox River blue channel cat. They call them. They're hybrids now all of a sudden.
It's not. Yeah. I tell you.
I mean, they're out there fishing, having fun, but
just be honest about it. There ain't no blues up there.
No.
It's kind of it's kind of like going up past Keokuk, Iowa on the Mississippi River. When they put that hydro dam in there, when they caught all the commercial guys, caught all the blue catfish up, there ain't no blue catfish above Keokuk. They say, oh, yeah, 1 or 2 will get through every year. No, they don't. They do not go through that dam. They can't. So Keokuk is the line. And the chances of there being one stray after all these decades is slim to none, and Slim's pretty much out of town. Ain't nobody talked about catching a blue cat up there in years. They're not there. Merry Christmas, Fishing with the Squirrel.
Dawson, what's up, my friend?
Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it so much.
Brian B says, Baldwin is an eternity for me. I'm headed out now. I'll be there on the 31st at 6 a.m.
Who said that?
Brian B.
That would be a shocker, Brian, if you showed up down there. I promise you. Everybody would be happy to see you. Guaranteed. It's going to be a fun time.
I think it's going to be good. I'll be watching it definitely.
Oh, yeah. Mike Greenwell, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, Mr. Greenwell? How you doing, Mike?
I'm thinking you're not going to be bumping this weekend. In fact, I'd bet on it. I don't think you can bump slow enough to make it work. So what kind of big plans do you have this weekend, Mark?
We're going over to for Christmas Eve. We're going over to our friend's house. We're looking forward to that. And then my parents' house on Christmas. Other than that, we're going to lay as low as possible, try to keep warm, keep the driveway and the walkways cleared, and go from there. The same old stuff. So we're looking forward to it, seeing family and friends. So it'll be a good time.
Yeah, with all this cold weather coming in, we're going to stay probably in the house. My family had its Christmas dinner here for the kids and grandkids over last weekend, and we were glad to see them all had a great time. But they're all home and going to spend Christmas with their families. And I think my daughter and her son will come over maybe Sunday for a small dinner with Cindy and I. But that'll probably do it for us, and we'll probably stay in pretty close to home. I got to get a hold of my sister, go down, find a time to go down with her, sign some papers, and help her do some things. But probably not going to be till Monday.
Well, you got a busy weekend ahead of you.
Nah, not really. I ain't going to do too much. If it gets cold, I'll just go lay in bed and take a nap.
I was hoping to maybe tie some jigs tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know if we're going to do that.
That's fine. I'll be all over that. I happen to have everything right here.
I may need to get some more jig heads, Lyle, but you don't need to know that, and I don't need you to help me buy them.
I was just dealing with Jason Brumble today. I can hook you up.
How many did you order? 10,000 this time?
No, just a couple hundred. I want to try
a couple hundred.
No, really. I just want to try a couple of things, and if then if they work out, we're going to town. I want to make sure I have plenty.
Yeah, I'm sure you have plenty.
Well, I have a lot of 1/8 inch or 1/8
ounce.
But a lot of the smaller ones are gone by the wayside, so I do need to restock on some of them. But I don't know that I'd ever order another big order like I did. That was a lot.
It's lasted you until now, so it's been
almost
good,
a year.
Yeah, it's not like you didn't go through them.
Oh, I did. I really did. I like the 1/16 ounce really well. And I did have a bunch of the really small hooks that you can make really small ones, but I'm trying some, what's some other kind of hooks? Not the straight ones, the sickle hooks. Some of them this time. I want to try some Eagle Claw, big little nasties. Try them. See if I like them. Oh yeah, I forgot. Need to check that out in the morning. Dang, wow. Sorry, folks. Usually Dave is about done by the time I get out of bed, but I'm going to try to get up early enough in the morning to join him. Yeah, 2 stands, sickle hooks. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, Dave has a morning coffee on Fridays on his channel where he ties jigs and talks to a bunch of people. I know he's trying to get people to come up there. So if you're tying jigs and you're up in the morning, check him out. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to have you on there. If I'm up, Dave, I'm always happy to come up and join you, but we'll see if I'm up. I did that early show on Monday on my channel. I was surprised. I just stayed up all night, Lyle. I ain't gonna lie.
I know.
I like that purple.
These are hatchet ones. They're supposed to be red, and when you put clear over top of them, they get red, but they got that hatchet head on them.
Yep, I like those. I got a bunch of those too.
These are the first one of them I've tried, and I think that they're going to work out really, really well. But again, the reason I got a hold of Jason today, and I told him, I said, if these work out, I'll make a substantial order. And he says, I knew you would. But yeah, I don't like running out of things that I use a lot of. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's fishing guides for rods or it's hooks. This is entertainment for me to sit around here and tie jigs or go out and work on rods. That's entertainment for me. It's really hard to do when it's cold out there. But hopefully we'll be able to keep it warm enough because I've got to get some stuff done out in the shop. But it's always warm enough to tie jigs. So,
Rod Knocker Fishing says he's got a new bread machine that makes bread he makes bread every day. But been 3 weeks trying to get sourdough going. Big fail. Keep at it. You'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, it's not can't be that bad.
Bread's an art.
I think you're right.
Bread is an art. I mean, it's not cooking. It's closer to science and art than cooking is. So
YouTube has got thousands of bread recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Just go check them out.
I just got a simple bread recipe from somebody via message the other day because I'd mentioned in a chat that I wanted to try making it, and hopefully, if it gets real cold, hopefully I'll give that a shot this winter. So,
don't lay down with a couple hours to sleep when you're tired. Just stay up, and you could oversleep. Yeah, that's probably correct.
HR's been looking for you, Kenneth.
I'm afraid if we had a bread machine that I would founder.
I have a bread machine, but I put it in the basement. I want to learn how to do it the right way.
Yeah, got that.
That's just me. I don't use chicken for bait either, so that explains a lot.
Like I say, there's a lot of recipes on YouTube. You can, and it doesn't matter if you're making bread or if you're cooking turkeys or smoking hams or what it is. You can find anything. It's amazing the amount of information that's out there. If I had that technology when I was in school, I would have got straight A's and never had to crack a book just to find out the subject.
Who are you kidding? You'd be racing just like you were back then.
Yeah, I probably would have been.
Your cars would be faster. You wouldn't be getting better grades.
That might be. I know I was 16 years old and they had when roller cams come out. And I was building a really hot motor, stuff that the guys that I raced was all older. And I was trying to compete with these guys. And I ordered in this roller cam, and this buddy of mine built a race car engine. I went over and I said, "Hey, look what I got." And he said, "What are you going to do with that?" I said, "It's going in that motor, the stroker motor." He said, "You know how to set it?" I said, "No."
We'll figure it out.
That's why I come to you. He said, "Oh, and back in them days, nobody knew." He said, "You got to have a dial indicator, and you got to have this, you got to have that." I said, "Oh, bullshit." And so I knew he was going to be no help. So I just started reading books, hot rod, stuff like that. And there'd be articles in there to tell you how to do it. And it was just like setting a solid lift cam. And that's what we did.
Now it's all at your fingertips. Here, let's start at the top here. Tackle Mike says good bread equals good BLT sandwiches.
I gotta agree with that.
Daniel says mom made some awesome beer bread. Good stuff.
I like the sound of that.
Here's the other mom, my mom here, saying, I make my cinnamon rolls with a bread recipe. Cool.
She does. And they are, I ate the last one yesterday. It was awesome.
I know you sent us pictures, Lyle. I know.
I did.
Josh says Lyle was souping up his race car as a kid by feeding the horses better hay.
No, that's not the case. That's not the case. We had... anybody that knows anything about cars knows that old Cougars was really pretty heavy cars.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't build chassis for street cars back in those days as they do now. And I had a 67 Cougar that would jerk the front wheels off the ground the first 3 gears. And when the guys come up from St. Louis and St. Charles and come down from Hannibal, and they'd all get together out at St. Clemens and race, I'd wait till they found the last 3 or 4 that was the fastest, and I'd jerk that old Cougar out there and give them a good spanking and send them old men home talking to themselves.
I'm not a big Ford guy, but them Cougars are good, nice cars.
We went to Peevely 8th Mile Racetrack one night, and Gary Dale Bradshaw and his brother Charlie showed up with their dad, had a Chevrolet Pro Stock. He set a world record down there that night. He run a 6:28 in the 8th mile, which was a new world record. I run a 6:49 in a street car that I drove down there and drove home.
Drove home in it?
It was 638 gears. You didn't go very fast. Took a long time to get there. But I'd stop and change them, put 355s in it, and you go down the road, not wind her up so tight. But when you dump the clutch on that old 4-speed, it stands straight up in the air. And if it's set down, if the wheels touch the ground before using second gear, It was you was way overwinding her. But them was the fun days. Had a carrot on a stick. I don't know about that.
Tackle Box Mike says cinnamon rolls on Christmas morning. That sounds good.
That does sound good. I like them when they first come out of the oven, and just take a teaspoonful of butter and put over top of that baby and let it melt in. Oh, to die for.
Two Stan says I saved $1,400 by researching how to replace the front end on my wife's truck myself. There you go.
I do not know how people afford to get their cars worked on when everybody under the sun is charging $100 an hour or more.
There's James Dockery.
Hey, Dockery, I hope you're enjoying the cold weather. You're the asshole that wanted it. Freezing my took us off thanks to you.
It's a Christmas show, I thought.
Yeah, it is. It is -4 here with a wind chill factor of -30.
Mine keeps dropping.
The wind keeps picking up. It's getting stronger and stronger. So, yeah, it's a little brutal out there. It probably will be worse by in the morning, but it is what it is. What we gonna do? I think he's saying I love you.
There's Keith over at Northwest Pennsylvania Fishing. He says, Rod Knockers, check out Bumblebee Junction. Yep, Mark's a good dude. He had a sour dough starter recipe on there.
You know, I think we should share something that you and I know about since everybody's talking about food tonight. If you haven't checked out Chud's Barbecue channel, you probably need to. If you like cooking outdoors and good food, that cat's got it going on.
Really I agree. And he's, all this bread talk too. He's been making his own bread for all his barbecue stuff too. So if you're interested in bread too, he's started making some pretty good stuff. He even makes his own American cheese.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
He'll do it right during his video too. It's crazy. He does really well.
And plus, well, we won't say that. So we'll talk later. Almost let the cat out of the bag, Lyle.
Lyle, $100 an hour is the Walmart rate nowadays. Wow. Yeah, that's what mine had. And flip up headlights, little vacuum canisters.
Yeah, I had an LTD too with those two. They were a pain in the butt.
Yeah, it was. Just $100 to hook your vehicle up to the computer. Oh, I'm sure that's right. Yeah.
You can get a code reader pretty cheap at like Advanced Auto Parts. That'll, for the most part, give you the codes that are in your ECM.
Well,
so
around here, if you go to O'Reilly's, and I don't know if they do foreign cars or not, but you can take a Ford, Chevrolet, or Chrysler in there, and they will hook it up to their little testers for free and tell you what the codes are, and then it's up to you to figure out what you.
Yep, exactly. They'll do it for any car. And the code readers, I got one here. I think I paid $29 for it, Lyle.
That ain't too bad.
No, you just reads the codes. It's pretty good tool to have in the garage. It was either $29 or $39. Don't quote me on that price.
All of my stuff was getting. I quit the garage business in 2001, I believe. And all of the computerized stuff and engine diagnostic stuff and scopes and it was all getting outdated, and I sold it all while I could get rid of it, because at some point you was going to end up eating it, and I had guys who's wanting to buy it, so I sold it all. Now my youngest son has a computer tester for all the late model stuff, which includes my truck, and I think he's got it all up to speed, up to date. And that helps when I need to use something on my stuff. But the thing about that is, it doesn't matter if it's a Ford or a Chevrolet or what it is. Every year or two, the information is outdated. You got to update it. And every foreign car, you have to update for that every year, because it just don't work out.
Yep.
So that was the problem. That's why I wanted out. It was costing so much a year just for updates.
The licensing's crazy. Yeah, they have a lot of like high-end readers and computers, the interfacers, the ECM stuff, like from companies like Matco and Snap-on. Right. That's a total different animal. But if you just want to read a code that's saying, hey, your thermostat's stuck open, it'll tell you that.
Yeah, and that's a lot of times that's all you need.
Yeah, Brian B says, I've been working on my car myself and saved a ton, but I'm scared it might end up like my boat and don't work.
I really enjoyed the business. I was in it my whole life, basically. And I really did like working on them. I started out working on race cars and ended up as general mechanic, but that's how you make money. But yeah, electric cars and boats will fix all of that. Yeah, why don't you talk to the people that's running out of the batteries, that the replacement batteries cost more money than the car did when you bought it? I find that extremely funny. But then again, I find Joe Biden hilarious.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
You know what I mean?
Hey.
I'm betting there's somebody out here to agree with me.
you think?
We've had a fun show tonight, Mark.
Absolutely, Lyle. I love being able to spend this Thursday with you every week, let alone the week before Christmas. I want to just say thank you again for letting me be a part of the franchise and stuff. It's always fun. Like I said, hanging out with you, the people in chat, and it's just good. Whether we have a guest or we got a topic or not, we always have a good time together.
We do have a great time, and we just wanted to get on here and visit with everybody tonight in chat and just reminisce, basically, and talk about food and all kinds of crazy stuff. But it has been a fun show. It has been a lot of fun, and we'll probably get back on target next week where we need to be and start talking, because let's face it, you guys will be ice fishing next week probably. And that's probably the direction we're probably going to go, because we'll start to show up and I'll let you go because I don't know about it.
I checked the mileage to the Florida Key, or the distance, and it's telling me 24 hours straight through, Lyle. I don't think I'm getting down there.
Yeah, I don't imagine. I don't imagine. Merry Christmas, Joe Buck. I would like to say Merry Christmas to everybody that watches our show, and whether you're a member or whether you hit the thumbs up or whether you subscribe to us or not, if you're watching the show, we appreciate it so very much. To all of our members and subscribers and the people that donate money in chat, it means a lot to us, and it helps when we do giveaways and helps with the cost of shipping and all that. So thank you guys, and we're looking forward to next year be our 3rd year, Mark.
Yeah, next week we're gonna probably have a show for New Year's, right?
Yep.
I think we should probably do a year in review type show. What do you think, Lyle?
I'm good with that.
That'll be Panfish Nation number 99, and we'll start off the new year with episode 100.
There you go. That's perfect, isn't it?
It's perfect timing. Better than that. Perfect timing. Dockery couldn't have planned it better himself.
Probably not.
No, he couldn't have.
He's just still thinking about that 10 degrees or 30 or whatever it is. I hope he freezes his butt off, but that's just me.
I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody too, and keep people like Maurice Kaysen, Brandon Cross, everybody else, Chrissy and Ernie Brown. Keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers, and try to help someone a little less fortunate than you. So
that's exactly right. That's a great quote, Ernie. Yep, I think that we've had a great show, and I think everybody understands the reason for the season, and we're done for this week. We'll be back Monday night with Catfish Weekly and Mark's Catfish and Crappie podcast, and then we'll be back here Thursday right after the bait shop with Chad and Freddie. Mark and I will be back here with a year-end review, so you want to stay tuned for that. We might have some giveaways. We'll see what we got going. We'll set it up, see what happens. And again, thank you all for being a part of what we do. We do appreciate it so very much. So until then, we will see you.
Stay warm, stay safe.